Hello, my dear subscriber. I use this opportunity once again to say hello to every one of us and welcome you back to my channel, Mega PZ Educational Channel. Today, we shall be talking about Epson 3880, 3800 and all other series within that line. And our main areas of focus today is ink bay assembly, diagnostics, repairs and servicing. So what we are going to be doing, we are going to bring out the eBay assembly, then we are going to disassembling it. See the components that are inside. This is a very vital component of the printer 3880. Without it, ink cannot get into your printhead. Any fault along that line is a big challenge for your printer to print. So we are going to look at it critically. We are going to disassembling it. You will see all the components that are inside that bay assembly and how the ink flows into the printer before you print. We just go straight into the disassembling, bringing out the bay assembly out of the printer, but we will not go details into how we remove the casing. If you have not watched our previous videos on how to dishousing the printer, you can go back to our channel to see more of the videos on how to disassembling or to remove the casing of 3880 or 38800. So what we are going to do right now is to bring out the ink bay assembly, and for you to do that, we have to remove some screws and follow the procedures as I'm going through it. But before you do anything, look for ink absorber that you can put under the ink bay, so that if any ink split out of the ink bay, it can be captured. It can be absorbed by that absorber that you put. It might be a foam or anything that can absorb ink. So the first thing is to remove the ink tube. And you can see it there. There is two screws that is attached to the ink bay. You have to unscrew it and carefully bring out the ink tube. Then beside the ink assembly, there is another plastic there, which you can see the way I'm bringing them out. Then once you have done that, remove the pipes, remove these screws that tie the ink bay to the body. Then around that side too, you will see a tube, that is a pressure tube. You disengage it also. Then there is another screw that ties the ink bay to the body of the printer. So make sure you remove all the screws. Once you're able to do that, the whole assembly will definitely come out. So unscrew those screws that's still making it difficult for you to bring out the assembly. Just quietly remove them from the body of the printer so that the ink bay can come out. So just follow the procedure, remove all the screws, and when you have done that, you will see that the ink bay is out. And the first thing we need to do is that we want to clean the inside of the ink bay, and the only way you can do that is to get a syringe with water. Flush the water inside. Just use the syringe to push water into it so that all the accumulated ink inside that ink bay can come out. It will not damage anything. Even after there is some component inside, what you need to do after that is to let it dry. Allow it to dry very, very well before you fix it back. It's only what you can see there is the chips, the cartridge chips, which is in the uppermost part of the ink bay. So put on pushing water inside that place so that you can clean up, because most times you might not see ink coming out into your ink tube for them to get to the ink to the print head. So as you are doing this, you will notice that the dry ink, if there is anyone there, they are being flushed away. You can see the ink that has come out into the bowl that I put under. Then when you have done that, then under the ink bay, there is a ink absorber, like a pad that is being placed there too. You need to bring the pad out for proper washing under a running water. So what I'm trying to do is to bring it out. Once I bring it out, this is where excess ink from the ink bay being dropped during your printing process. So just bring it out, take your time, remove every obstacle that may prevent it from coming out. Once you have done that, then you can bring out the ink pad, and you can see that all colors have already dripped their colors onto that ink pad. So we need to bring it out, then take it to a running tap so that you can flush out all those ink that have already accumulated into it. And you can see what I'm doing right here now, trying to clean up the pad. Then just allow your running water to run on it so that all the ink that are there inside will be coming out. Because if you didn't do this, there will be a time when this ink will be so much that the pad will not be able to contain them again, and the ink will start coming out of your printer. You'll be wondering where this ink is coming out from, because you don't have an idea of where it's coming out from. So these are the normal routine checks or maintenance that requires of you if you are using any printer of this series from time to time. So after that, we want to disassembling the ink bay assembly. So you can see there are screws at the top. You need to remove all those screws, and you can see, just take your time, zigzagly try to remove the screws. That is the cover that covers the component that is inside the ink bay. So take your time, be gentle with it, don't rush, and open it up. And you can see there are some inks that are overflowed out. Then under that first cover you remove, after cleaning, you see this clean, then you unscrew. There is a slavery, something you will see under it. There are some set of little dampers which is being used for the ink flow. So that is exactly where we want to work on now. So gently remove it after you have unscrewed the part. Gently remove it. Then when you remove it, you will see it. Can you see? About 9 of them. These are like a dampers. Most time ink might dry up inside these dampers, and because of that, you might not see ink coming out in that nozzles when you are printing. So what you need to do now is to get a syringe with a tube. Just try to push through. There is a little nipples by the side of that small dampers. Put the syringe with the tube and try to push it in so that the ink inside will come out. Can you see how the ink, that yellow ink, is coming out? And that is what we do for all other inks on that dampers. So once you have put that out, then you can now use water as well. Do the same thing for all other ink channel. Make sure that those lines are true. Do for other ones as well. Follow up do for those other ones. Just be gently with it. It's not what you will apply a big force. And if you see the syringe that I'm using, I'm not using 20 ml syringe or neither using 10 ml syringe. I'm using 5 ml syringe with as a little pressure when you press it in, because if you use a syringe that is big, the pressure might be too much and it will burst the dampers, which is another problem if such a situation happens. So do the same thing. What you are trying to see to find out is whether the damper is true or not. So you can see that some of them are not really flowing well, some are flowing very well. So after then, we now have to use water to flush those areas out. We flush it out to clean it. Then the next step we are going to do now is to flush the ink completely out of those dampers. We want to clean them up so that they go back to the original new state. So with that, we have 100% confidence in your ink bay that even if there is any issue with your printer, you can trace it to another thing, not onto the ink bay, not to the ink bay assembly. So you push into water just to clean it up. You do the same thing. You do the same thing for other inks until when you get a clean water coming out of the dampers. Continue with the process with other. Just make sure you apply minimum pressure. Don't let the pressure be too high so that the damper will not be spoiled or neither destroyed. And you can see that all those ones we have cleaned, we have passed water. You see how neat they are clean inside. You can see them that they are clean. That is what you do to others. It's a routine we need to be doing from time to time. If you cannot do it, you can call on an expert to help you to do it. It does not waste your ink. It does not affect your printer. Rather, it will make your printer to be more effective when using it, and to make your printer to last very long and free of ink problems that are normally associated with normally associated with inkjet printers. So we need to do this. This is a very good printer. And if you look at the structure it was made, it was done in such a way that if one area is affected, it's properly done, it will not affect the other ones. So you can see the cleaning up, and these are routine you need to be doing maybe once in every 6 months of using your printer, because nobody can tell. There are sometimes we buy ink, you might be unfortunate once or 2 times getting a wrong ink. They will not manifest immediately, but over time you will see that that ink will start affecting some component of your printer, and this is where you will start off with. Then after this video, I'm still going to make another video on how to service your ink line tubes. Ink line tubes, the tubes that connected to the ink bay assembly to the print head. That area is also very important, because most times it might not be in the print, it might not be in the ink bay assembly, it might be in the ink line that there is a blockage. So I will make a video on that maybe after this, and then show you how to flush and refresh your ink tube back to its original state. So after that cleaning, if you look at it, you can see that they are all thoroughly cleaned, apart from that yellow because of the color of the yellow, but it has been cleaned, perfectly clean. And the next thing for us is to put it back. And I always advise my subscriber or the lover of this our platform that if you are doing any work on your printer, disassembling any part, make sure you are doing the video alongside, so that if there is any issue, any problem along the line when you are copying it, you can go back and review your video, so that it can be a guide for you. So gently pull the screw back, screw them back, and make sure the screws are properly tight, and make sure that that's assembling of dampers are properly aligned to where they're supposed to be, because if they are not really aligned, it will be very difficult for you to screw them down. So then pull the cover plate at the back, screw it down, and then another video that is still very important, which I have seen so many people requesting for it online, is the contact chips for the cartridge. Is inside this ink bay assembly. So I will make another video on that, how you can change your contact chips for your cartridge. I will do that maybe in couples of weeks to come, so that anything that has to do with Epson 3880, 3800, 3885, 3890, or any other series under this printer, you can conveniently 100% have confidence to take care of them, to repair them. And that is where we are here. We want to build skills into our youth, want to build skills to people who are into printing business, because you spend a lot of money. If peradventure is somebody that is servicing this thing for you, it won't charge you less than $50 to do that, and that's a lot of money. So if you can do it yourself, you can be of independence of yourself, then there is no need of you wasting much money to do this, because printing demanding a lot. You have to buy so many things, and if you can reduce the cost you spend in servicing your printer by giving it to a third party to do it for you, then to help you, and that is one of our goals. So try to screw those screws back, and once you have done that, then you can couple it back. Just follow the same procedure the way we remove it. And if you can see the inside, you see that we have removed all the ink that might be an issue. So you put back the sponge which we remove initially under the ink bay assembly, and you tighten it back, then you put your ink bay back. So, and I've told you earlier the purpose of this ink pad that is placed under the ink bay assembly. So you can look at the ink pad, you see it's very clean now, and you will have confidence in using your printer. You have a very big confidence in using your printer once you're able to do that. There's a lot we still discuss about this series of the printer. There is still a lot we need to talk about it in the nearest future. So put the screw back, the ink bay assemblies, I'm putting them back, I'm screwing it back to the machine. So all the contacts you need to make, all the connection you need to make sure you do them perfectly, and make sure you screw all the necessary screw. If you're able to do that, then you have saved yourself an issue concerning this ink bay assembly in the next 1 year. So I know it's going to be of good help to you. Sometimes it's for us to remove fear. But once you've done that, Mostly this printer is a very good utility printer. It's for DTF, for photo print, for large format, because an A2 printer. It can serve, it can work well, but it needs your attention. You need your attention in maintaining the printer from time to time. So then put the pressure in pipe back. So what we have done, that we are coming to the end of this tutorial. So for some of our subscribers and those that will be watching it for the first time, please, we implore you to